We were a punk band, and we were really, all we were listening to was rap music.
And this could send me in a whole different direction completely. When I moved to Texas in 1987.
In the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s, when rap was getting played on the radio, I mean, we're, downtown New York, like you heard, Rapper's Delight on the radio in New York.
The bar band thing was still this huge thing. And I will touch upon it,
Shows we would play like half punk and then half rap. So we're like, well, we should, make what we love.
And the rules were very strict.
The shows we played was just our friends anyways, so it wasn't like there was some weird thing happening.
When I was 16, 17 years old, there was no scene, there was nobody that was going to discover you.
We're all, all of us were changing. It wasn't just the three of us.
I guess this is where all this that's talked about, the glammy past, Pantera and all like that. You have to understand, Later, Van Halen, very innovative for guitar work. Elaborate David Lee Roth character. And I guess I took to David Lee Roth first of all, first and foremost, because he was a great front man. And once again, a baritone.
Perhaps at an emergency
Remain near your receiver.
There is a combined radio transmitter and receiver of special design. Locality where service has been interrupted.
Leak detected. SWIMCORE radio remains active. The station gets clearer after midnight. Log transmission recovered.
Signal detected. 3 bands have been located. Their crimes include refusing to make the same album twice, confusing record executives, and making fans extremely angry for reasons nobody can explain. Nobody can explain. Scientists have confirmed
Telephone lines are employed to connect the studio with the various stations.
when an artist changes direction, somebody on the internet will immediately say they sold out. Investigation begins now. Signal detected.
Van Halen has been a hugely popular, yet widely unheard of band. Year 1984 changed all of that with the album called 1984, and directing the spotlight squarely on the flamboyant face
Give me a bottle of anything.
and physique of David Lee Roth,
And a glazed donut.
giving the group their first #1 pop hit.
People are invited. It's the whole experience of creating together, of being together, that whole performing together, arguing together, camaraderie is intrinsic to the music. I think Van Halen can deal storm and thunder. There would be no Van Halen without that. Van Halen can go down to the beach with a sword in one hand and a torch in the other, still inject a sense of humor. I call Van Halen's music an entire pretense big rock. Daycare center, combination of the gypsy roving carnival, circus.
You have such a physical act.
It's very festive, you know. It's everything all wrapped into one. It's a big parade.
Perhaps at an emergency relief station. There is a combined radio transmitter and receiver of special design.
The next record, because Edward had written a lot of music, Dave wanted to be a movie star.
We were just sitting there going, now what? I mean, here we've worked with a guy for 11 years, and he just kind of like took off.
We were just a little bit, no, we weren't a little bit. We were a lot pissed off.
Locality where service has been interrupted.
SWIMCORE. We just came off a major tour in 1984. It was the best-selling record we ever had. We had the first ever #1 single, went to #2 on Billboard. Every place we played, we were sold out. And we were just itching to go and do the next record because Edward had written a lot of music. And Dave wanted to be a movie star.
Radio remains active. The station gets clearer after midnight.
Well, it wasn't the creative part of working with him. I think we made some great music together. And he was just living with the guy. He treated everybody like a little lower than him, including us in the band. And, you know, that's not the way a band works.
Long transmission recovery.
I said, what the hell's Pantera? Started investigating and found out it meant panther in Spanish. And
that's the coolest thing.
It just had a nice ring to it.
I never thought Mick Jagger.
Oh man, it's the coolest race car there is.
Oh, does that make you cringe?
Brought a logo in with a cat's head on it.
No, that's the coolest thing.
It was the very first logo we ever had.
So what's a little imperfection?
Everybody loved it. And so we became Pantera from that point on, man.
I'm against it all, man.
Perfect. All right. Referring to Pantera's early spandex appearance. Referring to Pantera's early spandex appearance.
I'm against it all, man. Let it fucking all hang out, brother.
A fight for the party, and I'm kind of like, yeah, that's right. We do. Wait a minute. Well,
please welcome New York City's own Beastie Boys.
We did blow up kind of fast, big, 86, 87.
New York City's own Beastie Boys.
1987 was a kind of oh shit moment like that. You have this joke song, you like fight for the party, and everybody on it says, yeah, yeah, dude. It's all kind of happening too fast. And you know, it's like one of those things that become what you hate. Become what you hate. And then we started playing shows and we're like, you know, drink tickets, free drinks. So we're like getting paid more money. Then we're going to places. And then, you know, you're just all f***ed up and you're like, yeah, man, you got to fight for right to party. And then, you know, that got kind of tired, kind of fast. I remember we went and toured our first tour in Europe and we went to Germany. Like, what's the funniest thing that we could do to piss off the Europeans? We came out with boxers' robes. It was like, dan, 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 dan. Played the Rocky theme. And dan, 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 dan. We came out like USA on our back. We're like, what's up? It was all American Army dudes. Crowd went fucking nuts. And we're like, well, the thing of like making fun of this, that, and the other is not that funny. Let's just like make what you have to make. Make what makes you happy. Do what you do. There's no reason to go outside of your realm. And then, you know, you're just all f***ed up and you're like, yeah, man, you got to fight for right to party.
Radio. SWIMCORE Radio remains active.
Metal fingers beckoning to the invisible.
It's everything all wrapped into one. It's a big parade.
The things you do on stage are very acrobatic.
For me,
Give me a bottle of anything.
music was always primarily physical.
And a glazed donut.
Doing things on stage that are difficult to learn, risky to perform, are always the most satisfying to the audience. It smacks of a little bit of homework and a lot of finesse.
Give me a bottle of anything.
And even
a
more than
glazed
that,
donut.
daring.
To go.
I'm not Baryshnikov. I'm not trying to achieve a standard of excellence in the dance field.
What?
In the dance field, or or the singing field.
Well, let me roll up onto the side.
Obviously.
Look, yes. Whoa.
But I do take it seriously.
You know what I'm
Look
saying?
at all the people here tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Dave, relax. All these people aren't here to see you.
Van Halen's been criticized a lot for
He's beautiful.
an attitude about women.
I'm talking about
What would you say is your attitude about women?
the Yankee Rose.
Listen closely to Van Halen's lyrics, and I have written every single one of them. You won't find one sexist lyric. You won't find one victimizing sort of thinking.
And she looks wild.
You won't find that victimization tact of thought.
A lot of people get bitter in this business. Why hasn't that happened to you?
I think a lot of people enter this business with a lot of problems already. It's just they're couched and they won't dish them up. They certainly won't dish them up to you in an interview. They come in with a lot of bitterness. They come in with a lot of problems.
Ladies and gentlemen, David Lee Roth and Sammy Hagar.
Well, I'm supposed to say, Dave, relax. All these people aren't here to see you.
There is a combined radio transmitter and receiver of special design, locality where service has been interrupted.
SWIMCORE radio remains active. They can get clearer after midnight. Long transition recovery.
Most people think of LA, New York, Seattle. That's where the bands from the States come from. Like, you know, we're putting the South on the map. There's a band from the South, Pantera. That's New Orleans and Dallas. Thing out today, everything's just a trend. There's a new flavor of the week, new flavor of the week. We're a heavy metal band. Pantera has remained true to what we do, our style, and we're just gonna blaze right through that.
How is a cocktail? What would the ingredients be?
Goddamn! You know, we already got the Black Tooth Grin. That's a Seagram 7 or a shot of Crown with a splash of Coke.
I'm talking sort of, if we were talking like musically, you get the, if we were talking like musically, you get the...
Shit, just a fucking bunch of whatever it is, man, you know?
There is a combined radio transmitter and receiver of special design, locality where service has been interrupted.
SWIMCORE radio remains active.
And, you know, that's not the way a band works. And now with Sammy, we're a band. We're really a band.
Dave just wasn't answering any of them. He was doing his up and bottom best people with the never accepted Sammy.
We're all equal. Nobody's the big cheese, so to speak. And what I could never figure out is why he was the big cheese.
So I just kind of walked up and said, look, you know, there are people who are not going to accept Gary. Up and bottom best piece with the pops. You know, Roth. Well, hey, it's just life.
Except for his attitude, you know. Because Al and I and Mike were, you know, basically the driving force.
You're like, just, well, here's what's happening.
You know, but he was good at the mouth.
At that point, Ed and I really didn't know what the hell we wanted to do. People were calling Ed, Brian May, Pete Townsend, Phil Collins, a number of people. We were not quite sure whether we wanted to do a all-star record, just different people on a different song, or whether it just remain Van Halen.
If we don't please ourselves first,
well, we flipped the coin.
It has to come from the heart. We have to be happy with it.
And we both won.
Then we put it out, and if we touched one person with it, mission accomplished. Up and bottom, the best piece with the pops.
We wanted to keep Van Halen, and that's the way it went. And then Sammy walked in, and that was it. And here's my favorite term. As fate will have it.
One day, my Lamborghini broke down, and I ended up at Claudio's. He just got off the phone with Sammy. Sammy's car broke down, too. You know, and I go, yeah, man, I'm bummed. Our singer just took off. And he goes, hey, why did you call Sammy? So I said, give me his number, man. I called him right there from his shop.
Well, the first time we got together was actually, believe it or not,
Near your receiver.
There is a combined radio transmitter and receiver of special design, locality where service has been interrupted.
Leak detected. SWIMCORE radio remains active.
Signal interference increasing. Multiple artists detected. Common symptoms include the following: excessive confidence, questionable fashion choices, and ignoring advice from people who absolutely bought one copy of their album in 1987. Pattern confirmed. Signal interference increasing. Multiple artists detected. Signal interference increasing. Multiple artists detected.
No, but what happened was we were at this party, right? And we met the Dust Brothers, and they were playing these demo tapes that were really good. Maybe make some music with these guys and hang out in L.A.
Got to cover a lot of ground.
Well, what happened was, anybody watch judge shows? Is that a weird thing to say? Because that's what somebody says when they're about to lie. They go, well, what happened was, as things happen, things get weird back home. We didn't plan on moving out here. Sometimes you got to just leave. And so I was here and we were hanging out, and then we met the Dust Brothers. Adam and Mike came out and we were like, this is kind of nice out here. The Dust Brothers, who had some demo tapes. Is this what I'm supposed to be saying? Well, what happened was... no, but what happened was we were at this party, right? Oh, but for real.
That happened for real.
And we met the Dust Brothers, and they were playing these demo tapes that were really good. Maybe make some music with these guys and hang out in L.A. Like, you come here, and then the next thing you know, it's like a decade later, and you're still here.
You know, things get funny with the money and people you trust and thought were your friends. Lucky to have all the success of License to Ill and all that. Found ourselves in the position of being expected to do this one thing and being kind of strangled by it. People you trust and thought were your friends then are focusing on Donny Osmond, and it all gets weird. Always listening different kinds of music came out of like punk rock and hip hop, and we weren't really about that, about repeating ourselves and wanting. A lot of groups that have done that well in history, Kiss, they do it damn well.
You know, Kiss was a rock group. Can't leave out Kiss either. I was a baby boy also. Old Scorpions, Peter Frampton, Ted Nugent, and later Van Halen, very innovative for guitar work. Elaborate David Lee Roth character, and I guess I took to David Lee Roth first of all, first and foremost, because he was a great front man, and once again, a baritone. He's a baritone, and I was always a baritone, so.
Give me a bottle of anything and a glazed donut. To go.
Perhaps at an emergency
Remain
relief
near
station.
your receiver.
There is a
Unauthorized
combined radio
transmission in
transmitter and
progress.
receiver of special design.
Channel.
Locality where service has been interrupted.
Leak detected. SWIMCORE radio remains active. The station gets clearer after midnight. Loud transmission recovered.
Growing up with Mom and her sister and Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Queen, you're trying to sing these high notes. You're developing your voice and whatnot with Robert Plant out there and David Coverdale and whoever, that Deep Purple at the time, Ian Gillan or whoever. They always had these outrageous ranges. With heavy metal, there's no leaving out Judas Priest, the mark that they've left, nor Black Sabbath. So these bands went through these massive changes, and heavy metal was going through changes. Music was going through changes. Rock vocalists out there, from old radio rock I grew up on in the 70s, and the popular stuff I grew up in the house with. I mean, it's such a wide variety of stuff.
First of all, this is not the new Van Halen. This is the real Van Halen. The songs and the music. Hey. Hey. Oh, can you puff it up, please, a little bit here? Thank you, my dear. We have such a wealth of material that, as a matter of fact, we chose the songs from out of about 50 songs that were available. And we ourselves had a hard time picking out which ones that we think should be on it.
We tried to have a business meeting, if you can believe that. I wanted to know what they wanted to do, what their schedule was. Just getting ready to go in and do an album. In 2 weeks, I was starting my next album. So I was all ready, my band was rehearsed, my songs were written. So we had a sort of a business meeting for about 2 hours. I mean, it was like stupid. We didn't even get anything said, we didn't get anywhere. Finally, thank God Eddie says, well, let's just jam something. So they'd gotten together all night and jammed some couple songs, just some music, some pieces of Summer Nights and pieces of Good Enough, just the riff. So We went in there and I just sang. First time they just started playing Summer Nights. And I just was scatting around through the verses and I sang Summer Nights.
I was going, where's this guy from, you know? And just right off the bat, Sammy just came up with a melody, lyrics, everything. It blew me away. You know, jaws dropped. You know, and I remember Don pushed the talkback switch, you know, and goes, I think you guys, you know, got a new band happening here.
He's like an old yodeler. He actually built his own helicopter out of wood.
I think the boys have delivered the Sgt. Pepper of rap. The word on the street from respected rappers is that these guys are real indeed. From Eazy-E to MC Hammer to Public Enemy, the music is stupid fresh.
No, so we weren't about to repeat ourselves or whatever. We kind of wanted to do some other stuff and not where our heads were at and then make something actually totally new. We were at a place where we just needed to take a break and, you know, Def Jam wasn't really feeling that.
And he plays a flugelhorn. It's a long, like 20-foot horn that you blow, and then a moose come out from behind the hills.
In the July issue of Spin Magazine, there is a review of Paul's Boutique, which I think may just say it all. The Beasties have been underrated as visionary grubs, long overrated as a gimmick. This is the sound of three guys working very hard, cramming each second with a new idea and a tough rhyme. I'm David Berman, president of Capitol Records, and I think president of Beastie Boy Records, but I'm not sure about that one.
What happened was we put out License to Ill on Def Jam and things were great, and then they weren't great.
And he's got this flugelhorn attached onto this wooden helicopter he built.
I am very excited about the fact that the Beastie Boys are on this label. The Beasties are not a concept masterminded by someone else. The extraordinary success of their first album, License to Ill, was no fluke. Paul's Boutique will definitely blow away any speculation or misconception about what this group can do.
And so things got a little funny. But what happened
SWIMCORE radio remains active.
And so we'll like fly to the top of like the Alps, Swiss Alps, and then we snowboard down.
And they have the stuff. Batman, watch out. The Beasties are going to be in your face this summer. So enough talk. Let's raise the flag up the pole. Let's go.
That the balloons start becoming one color when they get far away.
Where?
I can't even see them. Right over there.
Well,
that's the way it should be, you know?
It's the way life should be.
Hey. You shouldn't see, you have to see.
You shouldn't see color. You should be like a dog.
And there's some very strong personalities in Pantera. Okay, I'm the new guy. Once we got past all the bullshit, there was this bond between the guys when you had, and this is kind of funny, but seemed like I was the new guy. Okay, I'm the new guy. Until like, I don't know, 6 months into Vulgar Display of Power. And we had done 3 records together at that point. Still meet members of the Abbott family, and they're like, "Oh, you're the new guy." It's like, yeah. But we were always, Dimebag and I am talking about Pantera, all 4 of us, always this creative pushing force, and it was like, you know, as far as being tight, that was a given. They were a tight, incredible group. But we would push each other. Stage performance, stage presence, crowd interaction was always a tremendous thing. So, and this could send me in a whole different direction completely. When I moved to Texas in 1987, the bar band thing was still this huge thing. And I will touch upon it, you know, and not just Pantera, a band I was in before Pantera, whatnot. There was this mentality, and I was always the youngest guy, and when I was 16, 17 years old, there was no scene, there was nobody that was going to discover you, despite and the rules were very strict. The idea was if you played in these bars, you were this type of bar band, that I guess your chances of being discovered were better. Okay, well, you join a band with older guys who've been around longer, and here I am with older guys. And I mean, I guess this is where all this that's talked about, the glammy past, Pantera and all like that. You have to understand, you could not even come close to getting the gig if you didn't look the part, if you didn't play the right cover tunes. There were some bars, etc., etc., etc.
Perhaps at an emergency release station, any one of many powerful things can go wrong. There is a combined radio transmitter and receiver of special design, locality where service has been interrupted.
SWIMCORE radio remains active. They can get clearer after midnight. Transmission recovered.
Please remain calm, and if you want to do not attempt to recreate a glam metal hairstyle without adult supervision. Who wrote this?
Radio.
Please remain calm. SWIMCORE will return. pH1 radio. Channel bleed detected.
I'm on the